Hey, what is up, guys? I am not only going to be giving you a SmackDown review, but I am going to be talking about a wrestler that I didn't really get to know. Well, but I met him in person. I saw him live, and it's just kind of sad to see what happened to him. Now, I am going to be reading this statement on WWE.com, and they wouldn't post this if it wasn't true. Reports indicate that Matt Osborne, aka, which means also known as, the original Doink the Clown, has passed away. I'm not kidding. It really happened. It's kind of sad. And a rugged brawler in promotions like Mid-South Wrestling and World Championship Wrestling, which is WCW, Osborne made a major impact in WWE under the grease paint of a prankster named Doink, one of the most enduring personas of the early 90s. WWE is saddened by the news of Osborne's passing. Our deepest condolences go out to Osborne's family, friends, and fans. Now, I didn't really get to see who he was, but it's just kind of sad. Where's my webcam? Okay. It's kind of sad to see a wrestler die. Like Paul Bale, I knew who he was. That was really sad. But Doink the Clown, I actually have his autograph, and I saw him wrestle in Top Rope Promotions, and he wrestled the ladies band, and it's just kind of sad to see him gone because I met him almost a year ago because it's almost August, and now he's dead. It's weird how life works that way. Paul Bale, I saw him in last year in 2012, and he's dead now. We're losing a lot of wrestlers here, and um, no one knows how really he died. It's just kind of a sad thing. They said, I heard that he was at the hotel with his girlfriend, or was it his wife? But he was with his girlfriend, and it's just, how could this happen? Um, it's a circle of life. He lived probably a great life because he he was just kind of that clown kind of wrestler, like people that he could joke around, and he wasn't the greatest wrestler in the world, but he was funny. He could joke around, and now he's gone. It's just sad to me. Um, Enough of that. But my condolence. I really do like the Clown. Like, I always trashed one of his matches with Mr. Perfect, but he really was a pretty good wrestler. Well, he wasn't the greatest wrestler ever, but he was funny, and he got me laughing sometimes. And he was just, he kind of had that creepy feel to him when he came to the WWF at that time. And he was, on the first Raw, he was creeping on, what's his name? Crush. And I remember, and I heard that one time he beat Crush, and then we had Dink the Clown, and it's just great stuff right there. And I have a autograph, but it's in there somewhere, and I don't really feel like digging through that. But my respects go to Doink the Clown, his family. I can't imagine what it's like to lose Doink the Clown, and I hope he gets into the Hall of Fame next year. So now, it's just sad to hear that. I heard this when I was watching SmackDown, so let's do my SmackDown review. I wanted to get this out of the way. And I would do a 10 bell thing, but I don't really know how to do that. So let's just do SmackDown like he would want us to talk about SmackDown. He would want the show to go on. So this SmackDown what happened on June 28th, 2013. We get JBL and Michael Cole on commentary. Now, as for this SmackDown, it was good, but it was, eh. Actually, I wouldn't say that it was average, because there was some stuff here I would have changed, but there's some, like, I'm going to tell you why it's just average. I'm just pissed right now that happened. So then the first match is Sheamus versus Damian Sandow in a Dublin street fight. And during this, it shows a Raw ad. It shows the advertisement for CM Punk and Curtis Axel versus the Primetime Players. This was a pretty good street fight. Like, it wasn't I'm not gonna say a match. It was more like it was a fight, since the name Street Fight. But this was a really good fight. There was one part where Sandow took control when he beat Sheamus up with a kendo stick that was green, because I guess it means Irish. And there was other stuff, like there was like a bunch of these kegs stand around ringside, which was cool. And then on the outside, Sheamus took out Damian Sandow. He did the clubs against one of those barred stands, and then he threw Sheamus into the steel post. And then Sheamus grabbed one of those kegs, and he actually threw him into the table of that keg too, Sandow. So then Sheamus dumped potatoes, because the Irishmen love raw potatoes, onto Sandow, and then he ate one of the potatoes. And then he went to do something on the steps, but Sandow swept the leg, and Sheamus went face first into the steps. Sandow was dominating. He used chairs. He brought out a kendo stick, a broom. He brought everything he could out. But Sheamus came back. He went to the chair, and then he did a shoulder into the corner and against the wedge chair. And then one part was when Sheamus did the Rolling Thunder on the outside to Sandow, and then Sandow actually took control as well. He beat the hell out of Sheamus with the kendo stick, which was cool. He did a drop toe hold into Sheamus, and one of the legs of the chair, I think, went right into Sheamus's eye. And then Damian Sandow hit that neckbreaker finisher, but he kicked out. And then Sheamus came back, and then he whipped Sandow with the kendo stick, and then he went to do the Celtic Cross against two chairs, but Sandow fought out of it. And then Sheamus hit the blow kick on Sandow while he was sitting in the chairs for the win. It was a good match. It made Sandow look good. I'm not really gonna say I was impressed with this match, because I knew Sheamus was gonna win, but it was a pretty good match for what it was. Well, fight actually. Then it shows the main event of Raw with Bryan beating Randy Orton. And then Kane's backstage. I'm glad to see Kane back. We haven't seen him since last week's Raw. Daniel Bryan comes up and talks about how he beat Randy Orton, and Kane calls it an upset, so that kind of pisses Bryan off and thinks that that makes him the weak link. And then Daniel Bryan says that says that you probably don't need my help, but if you do need my help, I'm going to be the ringside on commentary. And then he hugs Kane, and that was pretty much it. So Daniel Bryan's on commentary. That's cool. And then Raw Rebound, it shows the CM Punk, Paul Heyman, and Brock Lesnar situation. And then we get Miz TV with Paul Heyman. The Miz this was kind of cool, I guess. The Miz talks about how Paul Heyman is trying to get out of these. Like, he asked Paul Heyman about the Punk Lesnar situation, and then Heyman says that he's not going to talk about his business. So Miz says that you're not going to get out of this. You're not going to bring up personal stuff about me. And then Paul Heyman says that he's not going to bully the Miz. And then he has Curtis Axel come out, and he invited him to the show, so he's allowed to be there. And then they kind of go at it. The Miz talks about how Paul Heyman talks about how the Miz cheated his way to the top by saying, "I'm the Miz," and way to the top by going into a reality TV show, and how he would say, "I'm and how Curtis Axel did say, I'm Curtis Axel at 9, and then Miz went to say, going to lose the Intercontinental Championship to me, because I'm the Miz at 9, and then Curtis Axel attacked him after and hit the neck breaker. It was pretty cool. I liked it. So probably Miz versus Curtis Axel for the Intercontinental Championship at Money in the Bank. Then we get AJ Lee and Biggie Langston backstage. Adam from CM Brothers, we're coming back. I don't know when though, but we're coming back. But he was there, and he said that one of the guys took a picture of AJ, which was weird. So then we get AJ Lee with Biggie Langston versus Natalya. This was a pretty, well, never mind, but AJ says that, well, Caitlyn comes out dressed like AJ, and it's pretty much a repeat from Raw where Caitlyn was when AJ was dressed like Caitlyn, so AJ just kind of gets some retribution, and she talks about all the relationships that she's been in, then she brings them some new ones, like the Ring Keeper, which I forget his name, the Doctor at ringside, and Lillian Garcia, so she pretty much calls AJ Lee a lesbian, which is weird. And then they wrestle the match, Natalya, and then Caitlyn starts skipping around, and Natalya rolls up Caitlyn for the win, and then Caitlyn spears AJ afterwards. It was crap. Exactly shit. I'm not going to say crap. It was shit. The Wyatt family video package showed the same one from Raw. Teddy Long's backstage, and he announces who's going to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And the people that are going to be in, and Vince McMahon was actually there, which was cool. I actually thought that was pretty cool. So the people that are going to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match, hold on. Oh, Wade Barrett, Cody Rhodes, Damian Sandow, Dean Ambrose, the United States champion, Fandango, Jack Swagger, and Antonio Cesaro. This is actually kind of cool because I just noticed this, that all the guys on the Raw side, well, the WWE Championship one, are all faces, and all the guys on the Smackdown one, well, the World Heavyweight Championship one, are heels. So that's cool. If I had to pick who I want to, I can't really decide who could win. I don't really know who I don't know who's gonna win. So maybe I'll make a video about why these guys could win, because I know who's not gonna win. I don't know who's gonna win on this side. Actually, I know Swagger probably won't win. I don't see Jack Swagger winning, but that would be cool if he did. This is actually going to be a great Money in the Bank. The Money in the Bank ladder matches both look solid this year. Last year that they had Santino in the SmackDown one, so that ruined it. So next thing. Oh, and after that, Vince McMahon tries to teach Teddy Long how to say Fandango. So then we get Kane versus Randy Orton with Daniel Bryan on commentary. Typical match. Kane does the clothesline. DDTs Orton. Orton does the drop kicks. He does the rope DDT. And during the match, Daniel Bryan's chanting Kane on, going the yes chance, then the no chance. Then during the match, Daniel Bryan tries to, Kane's trying to recuperate, but so then Daniel Bryan's cheering Kane on. He puts Kane back in the ring before he's, fully with it. And then Randy Orton hits the RKO for the win. So I guess this is setting up. I don't really know what this is setting up, to be honest with you. I honestly don't know. At Money in the Bank, they're going to do their thing. But I could see maybe Bryan, Kane, and Orton, maybe in a triple threat situation at SummerSlam. That's what I could see happening. Or I could see Bryan and Kane at SummerSlam, and the winners and the losers the weak link, and that team will be done. Team Hell No will be no more. I don't really know where this is going. So we'll see. Ryback's backstage headed to his match. Justin Gabriel versus Ryback. Gabriel goes after the leg and he injures it. And then he goes to do something in the corner, but Ryback catches him into a shell shock for the win. It was fine with me. And then Chris Jericho comes out because Ryback's leg was hurt. And Chris Jericho's like, oh, your leg's hurt, are you okay? And then Chris Jericho says that Ryback's always crying and complaining and bitching and moaning. And then he says... then he changes Ryback's names to Cryback. And then Chris Jericho says that he's going to give Ryback something to cry about. He attacks Ryback and then goes for the walls, but Ryback gets out. I wasn't a fan of this. This made Ryback look weak. So that means Ryback, if Ryback does not win at Money in the Bank, this is just getting ridiculous. This was like Christian in 2011, where he was just losing. Don't do this to Ryback. Give Ryback this win. He needs this win. He needs this win. Next match. Then it shows the cover of 2K14, then the Wyatt family video package again. This one was cool. They showed like their shed, and they just talked about the same stuff they talked about. I'm looking forward to these guys coming. These guys are a big group. Maybe they can take on the Shield. I doubt that's going to happen now since the Shield's lost match already. So I don't know what's going on really. I think that's the next thing I'm going to talk about. Yeah, the Shield versus Christian and the Usos. Good match. It was a good. I'm not lying. It was a good match. The Usos took out Reigns. Rollins took out the Usos. But then you fucked up the Shield again. Christian pins, spears, Dean Ambrose for the win. What the fuck? What the fuck was this, anyways? The Shield's kind of going downhill right now. Like, I understand they've only lost 2 matches, but how do you go from beating the Undertaker? No, from destroying the Undertaker, The Rock, beating John Cena, Ryback, and Sheamus, beating Team Hell No and Ryback in a TLC match, beating Randy Orton, Big Show, and Sheamus at Mania, winning the Tag Team Championships at Extreme Rules against Team Hell No, Dean Ambrose beating Kofi Kingston for the United States Championship, and then it's like, I don't get it. Like, the Shield's going downhill. The Shield's going downhill. What the fuck? Honestly, like, they were the shit. Like, I always praise the Shield. These are great. This is great. But I never thought that I would be talking about how negative about them. They were doing so well, and now they're just sucking right now. I was fucking pissed. I was swearing my ass off when they lost. Just like when Magnus beat Bobby Roode last. Okay. I actually like Magnus. I like Christian too. They're like Christian and the Usos are good, but look at the stuff that the Shield has accomplished, and you tell me if that was worthy of that was like fucking worthy of them to lose. Like, that was just fucking awful. If the Shield keeps losing, they're gonna enter what the Aces and Eights were in earlier this year. It's gonna fucking suck. Please don't do this to the Shield. Please. The only thing that can probably save them is if they keep those championships. But then, what can they accomplish as a group then, actually? Because if they just retain Tag Team Championships and Ambrose just retains the US title, then the Ambrose isn't really with the group. They gotta accomplish more things as a group. And eventually, I think they don't do too much damage to this Shield. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Then we get that WCW War Games ad. Adam said that match usually sucks, so I'm not really gonna agree with them. So then we get Alberto Del Rio's Championship Fiesta. This was okay. Was weird. Like, they had a pinata with Dolph Ziggler's face on it. And then Del Rio talks about how he's kicked Dolph Ziggler's head in, and then he's going to do it again at Money in the Bank. And he talks Spanish through half of this segment, so that ruins it because you don't know what he's saying. And then he beats down the pinata. He waits for he just says that Dolph Ziggler's coming, so it's not really like a surprise to Del Rio. Ziggler comes out. He attacks Rodriguez, and Del Rio puts Ricardo Rodriguez through a table. Hits the zigzag on Del Rio. Hits Ricardo with the guitar while Del Rio escapes, and then Ziggler celebrates. It was pretty cool. I didn't mind it, but I'm just so pissed that the Shield lost to Christian and the Usos. Like, honestly, they need to do, like, this is fucking awful. Please, why are you doing this to the Shield? Why are you fucking doing this to the Shield? Why? And I took my glasses off. Sometimes I take my glasses off when I'm mad. I want the fucking Shield not to lose matches. If you keep making them lose, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. I almost threw my phone. I almost threw my fucking phone. I was actually gonna walk out of SmackDown. I was gonna walk away from SmackDown because I was fucking pissed. Like, what the fuck? I'm gonna go upload this, and if there's enough chance, I'm gonna be making a video on the Owen the Talkinator site. SmackDown average. The only thing that made it average was the Shield losing. Everything else was pretty good, I guess. The Sheamus Sandow match was good, and that Championship Fiesta wasn't bad. But fuck the Shield losing. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck the Shield losing. Fuck it. If the Shield loses another fucking match, I'm throwing my phone.